apartment fell through.
Hi! She made it. We're here in Hong Kong.
Today I'm getting an official welcome to Hong Kong from my friend Mike, who is also a content creator from Vancouver who moved to Hong Kong for their partner's work. And we didn't have too much planned for the day past catching up and exploring a bit more of Hong Kong Island.
These cells are not good. I couldn't sleep this way.
There's honestly something so weird and surreal yet comforting about seeing a familiar face 6,000 miles away from where you normally would.
We're going from the concrete jungle into the jungle jungle.
They're little old men. Look at that! Wow! Darren and I have been eating at a lot of local kind of hole-in-the-wall places, and we quickly noticed that in most of them we needed to bring our own napkins or tempos, and I might have embarrassed myself when I noted in shock that this fancy restaurant provided us napkins for free. Today I really have to catch up on work. I have some deadlines to hit and I've just been neglecting my blog and all of my content. So I am on the hunt for a cafe to work at. I found one online in Causeway Bay, an area that I have yet to explore, and got settled in. Today I'm actually stranded outside of the hotel because we had to extend our initial stay to be able to wait for our apartment to be cleaned up and ready to go. And because of that, they need to manually renew our room keys, and apparently only Darren can renew mine because we forgot to put my name on the broom. And so I basically cannot return to the hotel until Darren is done work. So I'm currently in Victoria Park and I stumbled across this model boat pond, and I presume like on the weekends it's probably really busy, full of people with their little model boats. Just as I walked in, there was one man wiping down his boat and putting it away, so I think that's pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of New York City, where you see a lot of people with their little model boats as well. And I'm honestly just so surprised how quiet everything is. Obviously, yes, it is midday on a Wednesday, and so people have jobs, they're at work, but I just think with the sheer volume of people here, I just expected everywhere to be always incredibly busy. Apparently the parks are super busy on weekends, but other than that, not so much. I just think maybe Hong Kong isn't as much of a work from home culture as Vancouver is, or maybe that like leisurely, casual West Coast vibe of Vancouver, where after COVID, it didn't matter what time of day it was. I could go to a coffee shop, I could go to a restaurant, I could go for a walk, and there would just be people everywhere. But Vancouver has like a fraction of the amount of people as Hong Kong does, so that's been super interesting. Hi. You have followed me all over the park. I don't have food. And you look a little beat up. You all right? I've been trying to find a place to kind of walk the seawall here, and from Google Maps, it looks like there's nothing, but I wandered close to the water nonetheless, and I think I kind of found something. Here's one side. And here is the other. This is the direction we're gonna go. I'm definitely gonna have to try to find myself a water though. We did it again. Left the house without any hydration. All right, what I was looking for, half didn't exist and half wasn't where the map said it was. So we move onwards. At this point, I hate to say it, but I'm fine to find like a Starbucks or something. I'm so hot. But there's no way for me to get there.
Would you? Because this guy is banging out.
You're adorable. That looks great.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently our place is ready a whole day early. So when Darren's off work today, we are going to go with the remainder of our deposit, which I think is like just under 60,000 Hong Kong dollars. You need 3 months rent here when you move in. One is your like first month's rent and the other two are your deposit. Plus another half month's rent for the agent's commission fee. We are feeling a bit confused though, because they sent us a video showing us the apartment saying it's all clean, all painted, and ready for you to move in. And the paint job is looking a little rough. And then you guys, it was so much worse in person. I was pretty disappointed because I was already behind on some content deadlines and I was hoping to move in and start filming against the blank walls, and that was not going to look professional in the slightest. And on top of that, and honestly so much worse, was the smoke smell. Because they hadn't painted it properly, the smoke smell was just as pungent as ever. And in all the time that we were in there talking to them, going back and forth about the paint job and like how stuff was still dirty, Darren's eyes started to water. Even though this sucks now, it's great for the vlog.
So stupid. So unprofessional. Like, now we're back to square one.
I have an hour until I'm gonna go meet Darren. We're gonna go pick up our Hong Kong IDs, which are ready now. And then we're gonna go look at some more apartments. But I'm just like fighting the biggest migraine ever. So our apartment fell through, which is such a bummer. The contract had a couple contingencies. So we basically signed it contingent that it would be cleaned, painted, and like the cigarette smell would be gone, which I know is a big ask, but we were kind of hoping like if they painted it that, you know, that would at least like hide a lot of the smell. And they didn't really clean it. They half painted it, or like a quarter painted. They basically painted in a different color slightly over a lot of the scuffs and then left it like patchy. It looked as though like when you usually put the drywall putty stuff to fill holes and then you paint. Like it's like they had just done that part. And then when we went to go see it, they kind of made it sound like we were asking a lot to have it all painted one color, or at least like a uniform anything. We're like, we don't care what color. I don't know, they were very resistant to that. It still smelled, it was still dirty. Like cleanliness wise, they did do the aircon and had maybe like pulled out some of the air from the drain, but yeah. And so like ultimately with how bad the cigarette smell was and knowing that they weren't going to paint it properly to deal with the smoke smell, because you can't just put a paint job over it. You need a special primer to be able to like trap odor. Yeah, they weren't holding up their part of the contract. And I think that's just because it's just such a demand in housing here. Like somebody will take it smelling like smoke and with that like half paint job. So it's kind of like, well, if you like it, you take it and you can paint it yourself. But kind of that's it. Kind of unfortunate because they're also now saying, like the agent is saying, that because we are backing out of the contract, their commission still needs to be paid. And it is a line in the contract, but it says whoever defaults. But we did uphold all parts of our agreement. We were literally there, cash in hand, ready to sign. But everything that we had laid out in the contingencies were not done. And so based on our understanding, the landlord should have to pay their commission, not us. But I don't know, we're still sorting it out and it's still a little messy. I don't know. Once Darren was off work, we went to go check out 2 places on Hong Kong Island. We missed our bus and had to get a taxi, and the traffic was so bad, it had us completely rethinking living this far away from his work. That being said, it's funny because when we first moved here, people made it sound as though we absolutely had to live as close to his work as possible. But now that Darren has been teaching for a week, he's met a lot of coworkers who live further away and commute in, and so it made the idea a lot less daunting. Also, I was so over it at this point that the apartment tour filming leaves a lot to be desired. I missed whole rooms. This time on our hunt, we also know not to sign anything with conditions. We have to be happy to take an apartment however it is and be willing to take on whatever needs cleaning ourselves. Both apartments were nice, but the second gave us much more of the blank slate we were looking for to try to make it feel like our own. It is a bit over budget though, so Darren put in an offer for $20,000, $5K under, and I guess we'll just see how it goes. Either way, I think we were just really itching to be in our own space. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but being in this in-between zone makes it really hard to relax. And I really need a dedicated place to work. This is why I don't think I could ever be a digital nomad.
What are you doing right now?
A very important call.
10 out of 10.
Came outside to try to film, and the humidity is insane. Watch me wipe this. And how long does it take to humidify again? It's coming, it's fogging, it's fogging, it's fogging, it's fogging. Okay, well maybe this isn't gonna happen right now.
The best coconut water you can get.
Stop! I thought we didn't need any more stuff.
Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you!
Okay.
What's its name?
I don't know.
You gotta name it.
Second attempt signing an apartment. Hopefully, second time's the charm.
Hopefully, because we're signing it all and giving all the money. So much bigger and better than the other place. I don't care how it can be for an hour. Like,